Have you heard the latest? There's another restraining order. This time it's Dean Greeley, keeping Miriam's father from authorizing any more physical or psychological tests. Can you imagine? She's the niece of one of our house doctors. I tell you, we've got a regular paper war on our hand. I'm surprised somebody just doesn't restrain her from breathing. Why don't we let both sides go at it in a best 2 out of 3 match, a grudge match? I tell you, we could just move the county courthouse right over to the new nurses' wing and save everybody travel expenses. Now, I want us out of this legal tar pit. Nancy's your sister. Miriam's your friend. Do something.
Come in.
Peter, I thought we could lay those problems that we discussed to rest.
I thought we did lay them to rest.
No. Dom and Gil had an argument last night, and things got physical. Now Gil's recuperating, and Dom made my son set me straight.
What did Gil say?
He said that he ordered the beers yesterday I saw at the table, not you.
That's true, but I was drinking, too.
Peter, let's not split hairs. You were coming to Gil's defense.
That's so bad?
Well, if it forces you to lie, it is.
Look, Mr. Prescott, I wasn't lying.
Peter!
Okay, Gil ordered the drinks on company time, so I knew that was wrong, but I drank anyway. So I was wrong. So what's the matter who ordered the beer?
Gil is the foreman. You work for him. What he did wasn't right. He should have been setting some kind of an example. All you did was follow the leader.
Gil's my friend.
All right, I can relate to that, but he doesn't need protection. He needs discipline, something that he hasn't been getting in months. Now, I'll admit that that's partly my fault, but I'm going to change all that.
Okay, you're right. Gil's been so good to me. Yeah, I had my fair share of being the new kid on the block and all, but Gil helped me. I was just paying him back a favor.
I know it sounds good, but it doesn't hold water. Now, you should know better. Your mother's told you...
Yeah, I should know better. My mom tells me that all the time. She's trying to protect me from Gil and the places he goes, the things he does. Why? How am I going to know what's better if I never see the other side?
Come on, Peter, you don't have to do all of that stuff to prove that you're a man. There's a lot more to it than drinking beer and driving fast.
Please, Mr. Prescott, I don't need the lecture, all right? Why don't you leave your advice to yourself or maybe give it to Gil, because I don't need it. Please, treat me like everybody else, okay?
All right, young man, you want to be treated like everybody else, you got it. From now on, when we cross paths, I'll treat you like any other guy on a job. Now, you're on my time. Get back to work.
Well, what do you think?
That outfit says something to me.
Teacher.
More. Teacher just starting out.
Oh, that's good.
It says, teacher just starting out, young and naive, but capable.
You see all that in this, huh?
Yeah, let's see. Young and naive, but capable, and not quite sure what she's getting into.
You can stop now. Just tell me that you like it.
Oh, it's adorable.
Marianne, the closer I get, the more scared I am.
I thought you couldn't wait.
That was yesterday.
Oh, this has been coming on gradually.
Sort of. Last night didn't help.
Well, what happened? I thought you went shopping for all these clothes you're showing me.
I did. But I cut through the Chesterfield area on my way back to save time. I'd never seen the place at night.
Oh, I bet it's a lot darker.
I had to stop at a light at a corner, and there were a bunch of guys standing there, staring at me, whistling, making what they thought were very funny suggestions.
You met some of your students ahead of time.
That's why I'm worried.
Lori, I'm just kidding. Remedial students don't have that great of a reputation, but they don't all hang out on street corners.
But Mary Ann, I was actually happy to get out of the neighborhood and onto the expressway. I'm going to be working in an area where I have to hold my breath as I pass through.
Someone's going to hit you, Lori.
Right, Ben. And he's not crazy about the idea either.
I meant the Lord. He knew what he was getting you into when you got this job. And just because your beginner's enthusiasm is wearing off, it doesn't mean the Lord is any less reliable.
I know that.
In your head, you know that. But all it takes is some catcalls for some kids on the corner to remind you how much your heart has to learn.
Terry Davidson.
Oh, you sound so official.
That's half the reason I got this job.
What's the other half?
To impress contractors like you.
Successful on both counts. How does lunch sound?
Like an unch with an L in front of it.
Well, obviously, wit wasn't the third reason you got that job.
Merely teaching you to be precise.
Oh, sorry. Might I have lunch with you this afternoon, Teddy Davidson?
Yes, you may, Mr. Prescott. Greenbrier?
Fine. Maybe we can talk about Peter.
You're not having trouble with him.
We can talk about that at lunch.
Oh, great. Just leave it hanging over my head.
I gotta go now. I'll see you later. Bye.
Taking diction lessons?
What?
May I please have lunch with you at noon?
Oh, that was just a joke.
I'm not laughing. I was hoping to eat with you myself.
Well, that's why the Lord put 3 meals in one day.
Was it the Lord who put 2 women in your life?
The Lord didn't put any women in my life.
Only friends?
Only pushy friends. Now, look, I'm sorry that I can't have lunch with you this afternoon.
We'll work something out, right?
Sure.
Jason, make sure she washes her hands. Nursing is such a nasty business.
Thought you might want an update on any kind of condition other than medical.
Oh, no, you don't fool me. See, your words are just as long as the doctor's. Only legal terms make me feel stupid. It's the doctor's terms that scare me.
I'll have to remember that.
Yeah, Dina, I overheard something about another restraining order. A nurse told me. Is Daddy up to something again?
Well, the restraining order is mine.
Oh, good. Now you're trying to keep me here, too?
Oh, no, the order is to keep your father and the medical staff from performing any more tests on you. It's obvious that Charles Carpenter was not looking out for your best interest.
Oh, so there's no more tests?
Right. You won't have to hold your breath every time you see a doctor coming. Now, what's new with you?
Oh, not much. I did get an invitation from someone to stay at their home after I leave here.
You're serious?
Very. It's Ione Redland. She's a very nice lady.
Miriam, that is very encouraging.
Why? Just because I have some friends?
Do you know that Charles is basing half his case on the idea that you have no one to turn to but him? But if a competent and caring party offers their help in your recuperation, it undercuts his case.
Does that mean I can get out of here faster?
Could be as soon as 24 hours.
So I said to him, what do you want? He said, well, I'd rather be doc than have another lecture.
What'd you do?
I gave him what he wanted. I'm a little surprised, though. I think he's picking up on some of Gil's bad habits.
No, I've seen Peter act that way before he met Gil. I want to believe it's just part of growing up.
Do you think that he could be jealous of me, Terry? I mean, I sound like his father when I admonish him, and I look like his father when I'm seen with you too much.
Jason, even if that did enter into this, he should be old enough to be able to deal with his feelings and not rebel because of them.
Well, then you don't think that's any reason why we should stop seeing each other?
Oh, no, that wouldn't stop. Oh, you rat.
Seriously, though, if anybody in the Davidson family starts experiencing Prescott overload, I hope I'll be the first to know. I mean, we've got the same interests, the same business projects, the same friends, faith. I'm surprised we're still talking to one another. Sharon?
Jason, darling, thank goodness I found you. Terry Davidson, is that it?
Yes, hello again.
Sharon Landers. Look, I really hate to interrupt, but I have some papers I need for Jace to sign.
Well, couldn't we have done this?
Last night, I guess we were having too much fun.
Listen, once this guy gets going, there's just no stopping him.
I see.
The big silly. He had me laughing so hard at that movie, I thought I'd faint.
Look, I don't think that Terry
The
is interested.
audio on my TV went out, so Jason here started making up the dialogue and the sound effects on his own. It was the funniest thing I ever heard.
Oh, he can be very witty. Wish I'd been there.
Well, listen, next time get yourself a date and we'll double. See you later.
Where were we?
You couldn't believe we were still talking to each other.
Dina.
Russ, how's the new job coming along?
Oh, pretty good so far. Sometimes I feel a little like Lewis's watchdog.
Yeah, getting dirty looks from the staff, huh?
Phew, what about that research you were going to do?
Finished it. You want to report?
Yeah, I can take a break right now. Come on. Diet?
Yeah. I never know whether to take that as a compliment or a hint.
Compliment. All right. What about Becky?
Well, I double-checked on the justice of the peace, and your mother was right. He wasn't licensed.
Yeah, I assumed as much. What about this, what is it, common law?
Well, it doesn't apply here. You weren't living together long enough to qualify. And as a result, there's no law covering community property. For all intents and purposes, you are not married.
Well, I thought I'd give it a try, you know. Shot in the dark, 1 in a million.
Russ, there's another factor that comes into play here. The fact is that even if there's some loophole found to legally validate your marriage, Becky just might turn around and break up the marriage.
So, don't look to the law to save your marriage if you can't do it yourself.
I wouldn't put it that harshly, but yes.
You married?
No, I'm not.
You never been married, have you? Never even been close, I'll bet.
Not really close. Who's paying whose fee?
Well, I'm just talking about one more factor. When you're married, or even when you think you're married, that other person is yours. You know what I mean? And when somebody or something takes what's yours, you can't understand that. Maybe you can't even accept it. What I'm saying is I know it sounds stupid looking to law for a marriage, but if you were inside of me, I think you'd understand.
I understand enough to know that married or not, the loss is just as real and just as painful.
Thank you.
Come in. Daddy, what do you want?
See my only daughter, and to hope that all this legal nonsense won't stand in the way of a much-needed visit.
Much needed for who?
Me. You see? I admitted it. I miss you, Mim. I don't like the idea of losing a daughter but gaining a legal combatant.
And you don't think you'd be losing me if I were committed?
But that will be so for such a short time, and then you'll be fully recuperated, you're mentally sound. The old Miriam.
The old Miriam is dead. She had no right to last as long as she did.
That sounds like Davidson rhetoric.
It's my own daddy. See, the only thing institutionalizing me would do would be to make me as dependent and fawning on you as I used to be. But you see, I am healthier now than I've ever been.
That doesn't agree with the prognosis of my doctors.
Well, your doctors agree with whatever you tell them to. You're just paying for that diagnosis.
Oh, wonderful. First you say you're the healthiest you've ever been, and then you start talking pure paranoia.
Oh, no, you don't. You and your doctors don't scare me at all. You don't scare me at all. No, Dina stopped you.
Dina?
Yes, my lawyer, Dina Greeley. She's got a restraining order keeping Dr. Thompson or anyone else that you're bankrolling away from me. There'll be no more tests, no more diagnoses.
And when did she get that?
I found out about it today. Oh, and the fact that I have a place to stay once I get out of here, that's supposed to work for my advantage. So, now that we have the business out of the way, we can get on with our little visit.
Well, I have an early dinner with Nancy. I think I'll leave now to avoid the traffic.
Why do you want to have me committed, Daddy? Nancy's reasons are obvious enough. But you... I can't believe that she has that much power over you.
You just proved my point. To believe that anybody could come between us is madness.
With Mrs. Redland's invitation and the restraining order I was able to procure for Miriam, I'd say things are looking up.
I know she can't wait to get out of the hospital.
I'm doing everything I can to get her out as soon as possible. What can I do for you?
I feel like I should take a number and wait.
For you, let's step to the front of the line.
Well, I want to sell my mother's house, and I was wondering if you could research the deed.
Planning on selling it?
To Mrs. Redland's son, Gene, and his wife. And I want to make sure that every legal detail is taken care of.
Very wise. Consider it done. Come in. Line form's on the right, dear.
Could it be old Mackie's back in town? Hi, Mom.
Now, why am I uncomfortable seeing my son in a lawyer's office?
Oh, don't worry, Mrs. Davidson. I've been keeping a close eye on him.
That's because I'm driving his Corvette.
Well, now that we're here, you can go home with your mom.
Of course.
Dina drive me. You see, she doubles as my chauffeur.
I have 2 more hours of work ahead of me.
Oh, I'm willing to wait.
Terry, was there anything else?
I think we're interrupting.
No, I was just finishing. I'll drop by with whatever materials on the house I have later.
Good.
Oh, okay, come on, let's.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Rita.
Take care,
Bye,
Gail.
Terry.
Bye, Dina.
And you thought tonight would be a total loss, didn't you?
Don't mope about it.
I just don't like being at odds with Miriam, that's all.
Well, neither do I, but she's sick. You try to comfort her and help her in any way you can, but if she won't accept that help, there's nothing else you can do.
Well, that's what I'm doing.
Well, don't mope about it. Charles, you can't doubt your love for her. I mean, she's like a child that needs discipline. You don't want to do it, but in the long run, it's the best thing for her.
Yes, well, now I'm starting to discipline as a father should.
Charles, you're being morose. Look, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. We're going to be married soon. And Miriam will be taken care of, so don't be so pessimistic. Oh, no.
Isn't that Barbara woman?
Hello, Webster. Babs. Giving him the Twilight special?
Just ignore that, all right?
Make sure you deduct the meal.
Take that back.
Ladies.
Babs, don't waste your time with her. Come on.
That's right. The meter's running, isn't it?
Nancy, that wasn't called for.
I was just having a little fun.
Hey, come on, Babs. You can handle that.
I don't want to.
Oh, Babs.
All my life, I've hated the mocking. I've hated what people thought of me because of what I was. And now I'm not that anymore. But the abuse won't stop.
Yes, it will. When you can make new friends.
Sure, as long as I can tuck my past away. You know what I did last night? I laid awake in bed, thinking up a past that people could accept. First I was a farm girl from Illinois, and then I was a Navy brat who traveled all over the world.
You don't have to lie like that. You know, the only people in life that really matter are the ones that are willing and able to forget about a person's past behavior. You know, there is such a thing as a second chance.
You know, I hope dinner comes soon. I'm very hungry.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be along in a minute. Listen, I'm just gonna go freshen up.
Nancy, don't stop off to visit along the way with any old friends. Now, remember, we've had it with those two before.
I promise.
Good.
It mean that you have to turn your back on insults. It's going to mean putting up with a lot, but it'll be worth it.
I know it'll be worth it. I just don't know if I can handle it.
Mm-mm. Very good.
Do you ever have anything going with her?
And Nancy? You think my taste's that bad?
Harold, I've survived on just divorced men. And when things get tight, good taste goes out the window.
Well, Nancy and I discussed it at one time, anyway.
But she turned you down, huh?
Sounds kind of devastating when you put it that way.
Look, it's no reflection on you. I just know her type. She led you on as long as she needed you.
Yeah, that's just what she did, all right. Not unlike my ex-wife.
Well, why did she leave?
She ran off with her business partner. She's beautiful, but very unoriginal.
Oh, it's time to powder my nose.
Hey, look.
Not going to freshen up, I hope.
Nancy.
Yeah, I'm going to freshen up.
Well, the restrooms here are clearly marked ladies.
Oh, Nancy.
Of course, it doesn't say what kind of ladies.
Just ignore that, okay?
I won't.
What did you say to that woman?
She's going to...
I just apologize. This smells delicious.
Who's she to talk about being a lady?
Didn't you hear what I was just talking about?
She's going to apologize.
This didn't get here a minute too
You
soon.
take that back.
What?
Nancy, what did you say to her?
Take it back.
Well, don't take things so personally.
I said take it back.
All right. You are a lady. At the rates you charge, it must be at least $10 above the average streetwalker.
Now stop that immediately!
You witch! Look at this!
Get her. Kill her.
Well, Charles, looks like dinner's on you tonight. Well, I think we better go get dinner some other place.
I got her good, didn't I?
Yeah, come on, we'll brag about your aim later.
You ready for dessert?
Did she leave?
Just now, and I think we better too.
I want to go home and blot this whole day out of my memory.
Yeah, well, you can, but I won't. That woman's going to pay for this.